What is the bona fide residence test? The bona fide residence test is a procedure used by the Internal Revenue Service for purposes of determining eligibility for the foreign earned income exclusion and foreign housing exclusion or deduction to ascertain if the subject taxpayer is a bona fide resident of a foreign country or countries for an uninterrupted period that includes an entire tax year. During the period of bona fide residence in a foreign country, the taxpayer may leave that foreign country for brief or temporary trips back to the United States or elsewhere, so long as the taxpayer clearly intends to return to their foreign residence or a new foreign bona fide residence without unreasonable delay. Once a taxpayer has established bona fide residencies in a foreign country for an uninterrupted period that includes an entire tax year, the taxpayer will qualify as a bona fide resident starting with the date that they began the residency and ending with the date that they abandoned their foreign residence. For a taxpayer to use the bona fide residence test to qualify for the foreign earned income exclusion, the foreign housing exclusion, and or the foreign housing deduction, they must either be A, U.S. citizen, or B, a U.S. resident within the meaning of Internal Revenue Code Section 7701 Sub B Sub 1 Sub A, who is a citizen or national of a country with which the United States has an income tax treaty in effect. Taxpayers do not automatically acquire bona fide resident status merely by living in a foreign country or countries for 1 year. The taxpayer must establish a bona fide residence in the foreign country, which tends to arise where the taxpayer goes to work in the foreign country for an indefinite or extended period, and the taxpayer sets up permanent quarters there for themselves and their family, even though they intend to return eventually to the United States. Whether a taxpayer is a bona fide resident of a foreign country is determined by the facts of their situation and may include such factors as their intention or purposes for being in the foreign country, their activities in the foreign country, and whether they pay taxes to the foreign country, among other things. The Internal Revenue Service decides whether taxpayers qualify as a bona fide resident of a foreign country largely on the basis of facts they report on IRS Form 2555, Foreign Earned Income. The IRS cannot make this determination until the taxpayer files IRS Form 2555. The taxpayer must also show the IRS that they have been a bona fide resident of a foreign country or countries for an uninterrupted period that includes an entire tax year, which may be the year before or after the year in which they claim a tax benefit for their time abroad. It needs to also be noted that a taxpayer is not considered a bona fide resident of a foreign country if they make a statement to the authorities of that country that they are not a resident of that country, and the authorities hold that they are not subject to their income tax laws as a resident. If a taxpayer has made such a statement and the authorities have not made a final decision on their status, the taxpayer is not considered to be a bona fide resident of that foreign country. This represents merely an initial look into the bona fide residence test for purposes of the foreign earned income exclusion and the foreign housing exclusion or deduction, with further specifics being set out in IRS Publication 54, Tax Guide for U.S. Citizens and Residents Alien Abroad. More information is also available through the IRS website, together with consulting and engaging with knowledgeable tax professionals who are apprised as all to the specifics of your foreign income and housing situation, such that they might appropriately advise yourself as to your income tax situation when you live outside the United States of America. Thank you.